Is this heaven?
No, it's a podcast. Welcome to the Field of Geeks podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 171 of the Field of Geeks podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Mitch. Oh,
Bill.
well,
Sorry, I saw your thing light up, and I was like, "Oh, Mitch is going okay."
Oh,
I'm Bill.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bill's back. I told Bill he's pretty much a
Yeah.
geek now. You know, he's been on so much, and so
I know.
You're an
I'm just
honorary
waiting
geek.
for my. I'm waiting for my caricature to get added to the logo, but
there you
I'm
go.
not doing a face. I'm not doing a face reveal, so you'll have to put me like in a Spider-Man mask or something.
Oh wow,
There you
first ever. Yeah, no face. I'll just have you put your hand in front of your face. You know, like what's up?
there we go.
Yeah,
like
or,
the John Cena thing.
yeah, there you go.
Like, who's sat in the background? I can't see him.
Or you're doing a headstand in the background. That's what I'll do. Just legs
Yeah,
coming out of the
get it.
cornfield.
Get a picture of my chucks coming out of the cornfield. There we go.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, of course, Bill's from 515 Gaming, which Steve voices a nice, cool intro now, which is...
515 Gaming.
That's
I can't
cool.
do it as well as he does.
Yeah, that is pretty damn cool. That was all accident, really, you know, and
Yeah.
that was fun. Yeah, it actually works very well. It's like... It reminds me of something, like, from the past, and I just can't pinpoint it, but I remember... I don't know. I would almost say Mortal Kombat, but not entirely. Like some other genre or game had an intro like that. I don't know. But
Yeah.
it works. It works. It's very nice. I like that. Thanks for being on again, Bill. And yeah, we got
Absolutely.
some news to talk about as usual. There's not a whole lot out there from what I can find, but there is still some. So we are definitely going to talk about that. We will start off with recommendations. I'll start first off. CW. I have not been a big fan of their shows recently. You know, probably for a couple of years now. Just they got very formulaic and stuff. But I have to say, Superman and Lois is an awesome show that everyone should see. And I was telling Bill and Mitch, of course, if you get the CW app, it's free app. You can see all, I think, 8 or 9 episodes of the show. You'll have some commercials, but they're all there. And
Right on.
yeah, so I totally recommend everyone out there to go see it. Very good show. They pulled it off the air for a bit. I think they were trying to boost Supergirl ratings in its place. I hope it doesn't hurt the show. But you don't really have to worry about a certain time to see it if you just go to the app, once a week, and there'll be a new episode. So it's getting really good. Last episode had a really nice cliffhanger. Great cast. Never imagined the show being this good, honestly. When they announced they were making it, I had my doubts. I was just tuned out of the CW, to be honest. I would see the crossover events, and those were decent. I did like seeing like John Wesley Shipp come back in his Flash costume, and other characters they played around with. Yeah, Superman and Lois, very serious, but there is some humor in it. But it's not sugar-coated as much as your average CW show. So I hope this is like a new reign of shows, superhero shows, if you will, coming from them, because it really does set the stage pretty well for that to happen. So yeah, strongly recommend that. And I'm late to this party, and I think Bill and Mitch, you're probably I'm no longer in the same boat, but I finally watched all the episodes. I binged them. Invincible on Amazon Prime. Fantastic show. It's basically an adult animated series based off of a Skybound Image comic about a teenager whose father is the most powerful superhero on the planet, and then he becomes powerful himself once he reaches, I don't know if he's 18 or so, but basically his character is always, every year he's waiting for his powers to kick in. And they finally do, and then you go along with the ride, and there's lots of twists. Like episode 1 major twist at the end. I'll just say that. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, it's created by Robert Kurtzman, and it has a huge voice cast. Stephen Yeun, who was oh shit, I forgot his character in Walking Dead. He's the one who got killed by Negan.
Glenn.
Glenn, yes. Sorry,
Yeah.
just had a brain fart there. But yeah, he voices the main character, the son of the Superman-like hero. J.K. Simmons is his dad, and it looks like his dad too. He actually looks like maybe if you've seen some animated stills, but he does look like J. Jonah Jameson from
Yes.
from the comics and Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies. He's got the bull haircut and the mustache. It's just funny. It's like, wow. I wonder if they considered other people. Or they just went right to J.K. Simmons, because it almost looks like that's the character we're seeing as a superhero. It's funny, but
Well, and see, that's what I thought it was. They're like,
yeah, an alternate reality, if you will.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good show. It's very adult. It's kind of anime-like with its violence, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not drawn anime-like, but it does have a unique animation. I'm not quite sure how to describe it.
Yeah.
It's animated very well, I'll say that, but it's not entirely 3D feeling at times, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint.
Just the bits and pieces of it I've seen kind of reminds me of like the DC animated universe, like some of the darker ones they've done, like Red Hood and Killing Joke and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of that.
That's very accurate, I'd say. And I didn't research it, but perhaps they did animate this. I'm not sure. It's crisp animation, though. It looks amazing. Some catchy songs in it. The soundtracks they use. The songs, I don't know who sings them or whatnot. I'm not in tuned with that, but they're very catchy. So, yeah, it's a fun ride. And, yeah, I binged pretty much all of it. So, yeah, I recommend checking that out. You guys have anything that popped in your heads just now as we were talking to recommend? Of course, you could recommend 515 Gaming if you'd like, Bill.
Yes. Well, yeah, aside from 515 Gaming, I don't really have much that I've seen. I've been really busy editing lately, so I haven't had much time to watch anything new.
No problem. But yeah, your YouTube channel is fantastic, and I think you released, is it 2 videos this last week or so?
I think we're up to episode 5 now of Resident Evil 8.
Nice.
Resident Evil Village, whichever you want to call it. And I'm happy to say that I was able to fight my first copyright claim.
Yay!
Really?
Champagne.
Yes. It's so weird. Like, I mean, it's something that other people have ran into with the same company or something like that. But it's like this.
Yeah.
I think it's like a company that's like a social media company out of Saudi Arabia or something like that. And this has been going on since like 2016. So I don't know if it's like a bug or a bot or something like that. But the thing they sent me was like, if you get a claim on YouTube or something like that, they'll send you like either the audio clip or the video clip. And mine was like a 30-second clip, and the only description they gave was untitled ass. With like 27 S's behind it. Yeah. It was like untitled ass. I don't know. And I watched it and I was like, what does untitled ass mean? So I sent it to YouTube and I was like,
It's my favorite band.
Is somebody, screwing with me? And they're like, within 15 minutes, I think they got it taken down. But
fantastic.
Yeah, a claim is definitely better to get than a strike. So
of course. Yep.
I don't even make any money on my YouTube channel, so that was kind of like, what, really?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, we don't either, and I've gotten claims before, but they're not. They always have the email always says, "Don't be alarmed." It's just a claim, and they didn't take it down or anything. I will say I did something stupid once, and I'll admit to it now. Die Hard commentary. I originally did with Joey. I thought, hey, we're going to be talking over this. Let me put a mic to the speaker. And it was great. Podbean actually honored it. you can still go to Podbean, I think, and hear the damn movie as we talk. But YouTube immediately, Fox took that shit down. And I think I did email and say, kindly like, hey, it didn't work, of course. But I eventually went back into that commentary and painstakingly lowered the audio while, in spots where me and Joey weren't talking. And it finally got to go out there. But that was so stupid on my part. But the thing that makes me mad, I see so many people on YouTube able to show clips, even movies, and they're still out there. Oh, yeah. I don't understand how they avoid it. It must be some kind of strategy or something. But
there's several of them that I've seen do that too, and I think a lot of it has to do with fair use. Like, you have to be very specific with what you're doing, with it. But like, they gave me the option to just take that 30-second clip entirely out of my video or to appeal it. And I was like, yeah, I'm appealing it because you're not Capcom.
Right. Yes.
Like, I could see if Capcom was like, hey, we don't want anybody streaming this, ruining the surprise. But
of course,
anyway, I don't know. It's like I said, I've gone through, searched the internet. Like, there's people from 2016 who have, videos claimed by this company, and it's not even on like Resident Evil or Capcom games specifically.
Right.
But just recently, it's, with everybody uploading Resident Evil 8, it's been an issue with them. And
well, of course, and it's not even on the docket, but Resident Evil, the series, right? That's in the works, so it's trending, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish I'd done some research on that. I don't know too much about it. I don't know if you do.
I haven't really researched it too much either. I think it's a Netflix series, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds accurate.
It's going to be an animated series.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the same people that were working on the animated movies they've done for Resident Evil, which are really good.
Are they?
They blow Paul W.S. Anderson out of the water, which isn't hard to do.
Well, those movies have become their own thing, pretty much, right? Like the first one, you think the first one was the most accurate, or maybe not?
Well,
to the game, I
mean, no, the first one was more of like the events leading up to like,
of course,
the main game.
Yep.
And then from there, they just were like, oh, let's just throw in this person and that person. It was like the annihilation of the entire series. Yeah. Huh. So it was kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're good movies, but they're not good Resident Evil movies.
They're not, you don't count them as video game adaptations, do you?
No, they're like total separate.
Right. They're their own
separate
thing.
Universe kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, hey, we got a recommendation then. The animated movies. Awesome. Mitch, anything comes to your mind? Anything?
Well, I know we're going to be talking about soon Loki, I just saw.
Sure.
And just finished Game of Thrones last night. And that's it feels like a chapter has been closed. I started that several years ago and just finally got started ended. So it feels good, but at the same time kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
I finished a series and you're like, I kind of get that feeling too when you're watching these Marvel shorts,
Yeah.
And you get really invested. And it plays more like a comic book now. These new ones play like a comic book, so that's kind of nice. But it still feels like you're ending a chapter of something,
Mm-hmm. Right.
You're just waiting for the next one. Loki seems like it's going to be, I know I'm probably getting too far into this, but kind of has that Stanley Kubrick feel. 2001: Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
And, some of the TWA stuff.
Yes.
Or TVA.
Sure.
And it's I think it may have a sadder tone overall. The interesting thing is how the show's going to end and stuff like that. But we can talk about that later.
Well, hell, I mean, we can go into it now if you guys are cool with it. I'm fine with it. We can totally change the order up. Let's talk more about that. Did you have seen the shows, correct?
The Marvel ones?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. What do you rank them currently? Like, I guess Loki's too early to call, but I guess judging off of the first episode, what's your rank of the three shows so far we've gotten, Disney Plus shows?
it's tough because each one had their own unique feeling.
Yeah, I agree.
And I felt like at the very beginning with WandaVision that, ooh boy, what are we doing here? And then it slowly started to pick up, where things were making sense, and
right.
And then you finally got more and more of the story, which I really liked.
Sure.
I thought that one ended up really good. Winter Soldier and Falcon, that was, man, they did not stop the action from episode 1
They
on.
didn't.
I thought they were kind of confused on how to end that particular series, but then
yes,
given the fact that was still shooting during right before COVID, and they had to rewrite some of the script because some of it had to deal with a biological weapon of some sort.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's truly how they meant to end it. I still thought the series was incredibly strong.
Sure.
This one with Loki seems to be more in the line of a classic and traditional Marvel movie. You got some humor, you got some big name people in there, and it seems to follow more of the storyline because it seems like a lot of it had to deal with space and so Thor and stuff like that. And they keep on saying that there's going to be some surprise guests.
Cool.
Meet Loki and all. I'm wondering if we're going to get to see Chris Hemsworth. Owen Wilson nailed it. That role is hilarious.
Yes.
When have you guys all seen it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So when he asked the judge to allow him to keep Loki for a little bit, and then he goes, I'm always looking up to you, and that's a great thing. It's just his delivery on that was so freaking funny. I was just laughing.
Right.
God, all of these have been surprisingly good in their own unique way.
They have been. And it's classic Owen Wilson, too. I mean, I'm just waiting for him to do the wow.
Right.
But,
I wonder if he's trying not to do that anymore because everyone's made fun of it so much.
Yeah, I know.
Like, don't say wow.
But,
Yeah, I don't know. Wow.
I wonder, do you think he got his hair cut, or do you think that's a wig?
Probably haircut.
Probably.
Yeah. It looks a little too natural to be a wig, I think.
Yeah.
I think he probably just cut it short.
Right. I'm glad they did
with it.
change his looks, though, like give him a mustache. And, when they first released stills of the show, I almost thought it was, what's his face from, played by William Hurt. You know what I'm talking about? Betsy Ross. Yeah, it's like Lieutenant Ross or...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everett Ross.
Yes, he kind of looked like him a little bit in the stills, but it was before I realized it was Owen Wilson, and I was like, "What the hell are they doing? What is this?"
Yeah,
yeah.
When the whole reveal that they're like trying to catch him, it doesn't make any sense. There's got to be a bad guy that can shapeshift or something.
Right. It's going to be interesting, and the reason why they didn't show it, I've heard it may be like a female version of Loki or something like that. I guess.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
He's gender fluid on his sheet they show, and I know a lot of people have been outraged by that, but it actually is accurate in mythology and the character in the comics, I guess, even though we've never seen him. Maybe that's why he's gender fluid, because he can shapeshift. It'll be interesting.
Well,
like, who do you cast to be the female version, of that character?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting, but I didn't know that till after I saw it. I was like, why didn't they just show us? But I did figure maybe it's because he looked more like a devil, because that child pointed at that the glass painting, of a devil, and I was like, oh, maybe he's got a little red tone right now to his skin or something. They want to reveal that later, but it is cool because it is the 2012 Loki. It's not the one that became more evolved, let's say, like he did. And they did solidify, like, he actually did die when we saw him in Infinity War. Our Loki did die, because that's the end of the file. That was kind of cool, but it felt a little lazy, maybe, just to keep showing these clips, because we all know this stuff, but I understand they had to do it.
I kind of looked at it a different way, I guess, with that. So as far as character development in the MCU, there's never been like any there's been very few characters, like mainstay characters, that have really gotten that like huge overarching storyline kind of treatment. And I think what's important with this is like when you see him like watching all of the things that the prime Loki, I guess, if you want to call him that, has done, like with his mother dying, watching his father die, watching, himself get killed in Infinity War, and like Thor weeping over his body and stuff like that. I kind of think like the Loki that, we got at the beginning of Infinity War.
Yeah.
That's like always been Loki. You know what I mean? Like he's always had that like mentality in him. He's just been trying to prove himself so hard that he's kind of gone about it the wrong way and came out as kind of an arrogant dickhead.
The barriers have come down basically of what he set up.
Yeah. I think like him being in the TVA or whatever is just kind of like letting it all sink in. Like, hey, it doesn't matter how big and bad you make yourself look in here. Like they even did that when he like went to the, one of the receptionist guys or something like that to get the Tesseract back, and he opens up this drawer and it's full of Infinity Stones.
What a mind fuck!
He's like, oh yes. He's like, oh yeah, some of our guys use them as paperweights, and he's just like, what? Like, I could make like three gauntlets out of this stuff. What are you talking about?
Right.
And like, nothing matters because it's just like,
I guess
nobody has any power over any of that.
Right.
Universe or realm or wherever they're at.
Well, someone explained it, and it could have been a fan theory, but it's like only the universe those stones belong in is when they work. If you take them out of that universe, they don't. So that explains.
That makes sense.
Because everyone was touching the Tesseract. Did you notice that too? I'm like, that thing like burned Red Skull's hand.
Yeah.
How can they just touch it? Even Nick Fury with his glove was like, oh shit, hot potato.
Exactly.
So I'm glad they explained that, because I was like, why the hell is everyone picking this thing up like it's a baseball and it's not affecting them?
Yeah, it makes sense as to why they had so many, though, because there's so many alternate realities.
Right. Yep. There's been an argument about, well, are these people like not free to decide their destiny? Is everything predetermined? But I don't see it that way. I see it like the whole timeline they were talking about. It's kind of like it's already happened. All you're doing is going back, and everyone got to make their decisions. They had free will, let's say. I don't think it was like, everyone's designed to do this exact thing, because that's how some people were reading it. Like, oh well, that sucks. So going forward, it's like nothing matters because they're all, set to do this. But it's like, no, I don't look at it that way. Like these people, they basically, I think, exist. And I'm talking about the Time Variance Authority, of course, which it first appeared in Thor number 372 back in '86. So it's actually got comic history. It wasn't just made for the show.
Okay.
Yep. This agency kind of exists in an idle zone or whatever, if you will. Like time doesn't exist where they're at. So it's very.
That's what I was wondering, if maybe like the evil Loki or whatever is like from the timeline where he succeeded in escaping with the Tesseract, and maybe went and like destroyed Asgard and went back to Earth and blew everything up or something. I don't know.
Could be a variant of a variant too, which would really mess things up. So like, but it'd still be an alternate. So that'll be. I'm hoping they really. It's a 6-episode run, so. I hope they really.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get nervous when it's because I think WandaVision was 9 maybe, and the rest have been 6. So, I really hope they can. Yeah.
I didn't think they'd be able to wrap up Falcon and the Winter Soldier in 6 episodes either, and they found a way to do it.
Yeah.
While still, leaving you kind of wanting more. I guess.
Sure.
But, I don't know. I think it's going to come back to the Ancient One, like her whole spiel that she gave to Bruce Banner.
Yes.
In Endgame, like, if you take it from this point, it makes a branching path, and I think there's going to be a lot of that. Like they're kind of trying to, like Captain America went back and put all the stones back where they were supposed to go, but this is going to explore like, what if he didn't do that?
Right.
And I think it's going to show a lot more of like what the Asgardians have had, involvement in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like they showed that whole thing with Loki being DB Cooper.
Yeah, that was
Like,
nuts, wasn't
cool.
it?
Yeah. It's like, oh, it was just a bet that I had with Thor. And it's like, no big deal. But to us, it was, it was huge.
He's a
event.
legend.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, though.
Sure.
I think, it's a little too early to tell, like, where this is going to hit, like, as far as my favorite series they've done so far. But I don't know. I think, it's hard to look at, like, WandaVision and compare it to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, for example, because they're two different genres.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like one's like fantasy and one's more like action adventure. You
Right.
know? Just like you have different genres of movies.
Yeah, I definitely see that for sure. Yeah, I hope they wrap it up very well. I'm sure they will. This one I don't think had as much interruptions or reworking, let's say, because the Falcon and Winter Soldier had a pandemic storyline they totally wiped out.
That was supposed to take place, or it was supposed to release before WandaVision was.
Right, it was supposed to start Phase 4, I believe. I think
and then they had COVID happen, so they had to kind of rearrange everything. But
when Disney Plus premiered, I think that was teased like it was coming very soon, and it didn't, obviously. Yeah. I don't know. I think this is going to. I say this about the other, or at least of WandaVision. I don't know about Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I think this is going to have some tie-ins to the Doctor Strange movie coming out as well. Oh, I hope so. Yeah.
Like I can see there being like a multiverse where Loki is like the supreme ruler of Asgard or something, and he causes issues. I don't know. Like there's even been kind of like we were saying there's been a female Loki in the comics, and I think it was from. I don't know if it was like from the main 616 universe or if it was an alternate Loki, but I thought at some point there was like the female Loki kind of took over or something. Like that.
Yeah. Because I know they're doing the What If cartoon, their alternative like realities, but for them to do it in a movie like Doctor Strange, that'd be amazing. Like it just, how do you craft that so it's not overkill or, I guess so it's not a 6-hour film, which I'd be okay with. I'd be all right with that. It won't be, obviously, but yeah.
I kind of have a feeling that like the next, Black Widow excluded from this, but I think like the next like 3 Marvel movies are going to be kind of a trilogy, but they're going to be their own separate thing. Yeah. If that makes any sense. Like, sure. I can see like Doctor Strange leading into No Way Home, and then No Way Home leading into like, I don't know, probably not the Eternals, but I think something like that. Like there's or like Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that. I don't know.
I think we get the Eternals. Yeah, we get the Eternals this year. I think Shang-Chi after Black Widow. I think it's Shang-Chi, maybe Eternals and Spider-Man. So I think we'll get Spider-Man before Doctor Strange, but that could set up Strange as well. Because that would be cool though. I totally think that'd be cool. But I think we're gonna get Strange after. I think Spider-Man's coming out this year. I'm pretty sure. But either way, they're going to be setting up things.
December?
Yeah.
I think it's like December of this year, yeah.
And they keep teasing a trailer, so we'll see what happens. I bet Black Widow, there'll be a trailer. I think that's when it's going to happen. That's what I would do if we had a trailer already.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I'm planning to see Black Widow the day it releases, so.
Yeah, I think it's going to be my first theater experience in a long time.
Just because I want to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against like the character of Black Widow or what I expect for the movie, but it's like I've been waiting so long for this to come out. Like it should have been out like what, a year and a half ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like a good movie.
It does. And if it sets up anything, will it match with what's been done, or are they going to take out things because of other things had to come before it? That would be super interesting to me. But it looks great. I mean, I'm excited. I'll definitely go to see that one. I hope it's a big success, and I'm looking forward to Spider-Man for sure. But yeah, Loki Loki's a treat. It really is a treat. I did like the first episode. I was hoping we get 2 episodes. We only got 2-episode premiere with WandaVision, so that hasn't been repeated. But I wonder if they did that with WandaVision because it was such a different show, you know? Like, it started out like a 50s or 60s sitcom, and so maybe they gave us 2 episodes to not totally be like, what is this, you know?
Yeah, I think if you would have just seen, like, the first episode and then had to wait a week for the second one, you'd have been like, do I really want to get into this? This is Loki as fuck.
I was game from the start, though, because I was like, I knew it would evolve, you know? I thought some people were like losing their minds. I'm like, everyone slow down. It's give it a second, you know? I'm digging it. Like, it was written very well, I thought, for what it was. Like, it could have existed back then. It would have been legit, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So, you know, the other thing is with these shows releasing weekly, you know, water cooler talk, let's say. I know a lot of the finales have not been satisfactory, and I almost wonder if they would have been more satisfactory if they were all available at once to binge. I don't know what do you guys think about that?
I don't think they're meant to be satisfactory, though.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think they're meant to, like, keep you wanting more.
Right.
Right.
And, you know, by the time we see the next, whatever, Avengers type movie, you know, where everyone kind of comes together and everything, you're going to be sitting there waiting like, oh, I can't wait to see, new Captain America. I can't wait to see Bucky come back. I can't wait to see what Wanda does.
Right.
Blah, 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 you know.
Well, I guess,
and I think we're going to get like little pepperings of those characters throughout the next wave of movies coming out. But I think it's going to be like it makes a lot of sense the way that Disney's doing it.
Yeah.
And Kevin Feige never does anything by mistake.
No. Yeah.
Like, you know, there might be this one little thread like in Iron Man 2 that doesn't get unraveled until Endgame or until, you know, something like that. Like, I'm using that as an example. But
yeah, of course.
Like, I mean, you have to be fully invested into each phase of the MCU to see like where this is going. So I don't think they're meant to be self-contained. I think like the only self-contained series they're going to do is What If.
Yeah.
But you know, I think everything's going to end up meshing together in some way.
Well, imagine if they had Disney Plus back then. After Iron Man, they could have had Shield, and that would have done most of the work that Iron Man 2 had to do. Also cramming in, you know, I think Mickey Rourke's villain character suffered from that, and Whiplash, because I think they did a lot more shooting or something. But of course, Rourke, he really studied the hell out of that character. Like he just got fresh off his Oscar nomination. He went to like Russia, I think, and got into a prison cell for a bit.
He went, he spent time in like Russian prisons and stuff like that.
I'm gonna get an Oscar for this shit.
Methodical about it.
Yeah. No, that's a good point though. I think what I was thinking is, you know, when something's not final, everyone has their own idea, right? And if it's more final, they don't have time to really speculate. And they kind of just, I guess, accept it more versus like, oh, really? We didn't go that route? Or, you know, because right now you got all these people on YouTube speculating, and they had amazing theories, you know, and I'm sure the writers of these shows were like envious, like, shit, that would have been fun, you know, because their work's already done. I mean, it's just whenever you put something out, right? There's always, if it has time to marinate with people before the final show, you have that risk, and I think you have more people not being satisfied, which, you have a great point there. Like, you're not always supposed to be satisfied, but, you know, it just makes you wonder. I did enjoy, though, the weekly, you know, episodes coming. Everyone had a chance to be on the same page, basically, and speculate. That was fun. That was, you know, like a good throwback.
It is fun to, like, see the things that people put on YouTube every week, too, like,
yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, these are 10 Easter eggs you might have missed in Loki episode 1, or
right.
You know, this is what like we think that the ending means for the MCU at large, and it's kind of cool to see like people's different opinions on it, especially because like, you know, I never really got into like Thor, the Thor comics and like the Avengers comics and stuff like that growing up. I was always just Spider-Man, and that was it. So
I was basically
it was
Batman. These
one of
movies
those things,
educated
like-
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. What about you, Mitch? Did you do you have a lot of fanfare with the comics before the movies, or just kind of as the movies came?
I think as the movies came, I would say my interest grew, at least from a standpoint of knowledge.
Yeah,
Because you're starting to watch these little nuances, and people are like, "Oh, that's the so-and-so in the background." You're like, "Who the heck is that?"
Yeah.
And then you start researching, and you're like, "Oh,
yeah,
some mid-level character that's a sidekick or something like that they just wanted to throw in for fans."
right.
In Deadpool, they had Hydra Bob, but he wasn't truly Hydra Bob yet.
Yes.
In the first one. Bob, how you doing? And that whole storyline would be hilarious.
Yeah,
If they integrated that now, because they've talked about Hydra already.
exactly.
And so, just the fact that Hydra Bob goes on random missions, and basically joined Hydra for the good healthcare plans. That story alone is worth telling on the big screen,
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that he takes Hydra Bob on these random missions where he knows he's going to get hurt, but then he just decides to give him random body parts to help him along. It's so great.
Yeah. I hear you.
But yeah, no, I like it. I was a bigger fan of Batman growing up.
Yep.
And X-Men. But then again, you got to keep in mind those were the big two shows that were very nationally syndicated.
Yes.
And then, back in the mid-90s, we had The Amazing Spider-Man as a cartoon right after school. Great series.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. I think that was about it.
They did Iron Man, I think, and Hulk. They did them all, but Spider-Man was probably the one that stuck the most for Marvel. But yeah, I was strongly a DC person growing up. That's just the characters I knew mostly.
Right.
The Marvel one's not until the films, really. I mean, obviously Spider-Man, I knew about him, and Punisher. Some characters I did, but yeah, not as much as I remember being fascinated by Iron Man when they were making it. I'm like, this would be really cool. Like, he wears a suit, and I'm psyched to see it. I think that'd be really neat. So yeah, I was mostly Batman, but yeah, it's that's what I would do basically when I go see a film. I'd be like, who the hell's that? And I go back home and get on the internet and just kind of casually school myself on or learn what this character was. And yeah, so.
And I think the good thing about this is now that we're getting more Marvel movies and stuff like that, and more series, is that they can start sticking in some of the behind the scenes key players and stuff like that. Not maybe so much the top of the line, players.
Sure.
But some of their sidekicks or family members that, some of the real true comic book fans would like to see, but haven't had a chance to because, like at this point, if you're coming, I think we're getting dangerously close though, to the point where if you're coming into this now watching these things and you haven't watched, what are we on right now? Phase 4, Phase 5 or something like that. 4. We're getting very dangerously close into the line of who's this again, because it's getting very intricate.
Yes.
But I think we're given enough time to grow and all that stuff. But it's getting better. And I like it.
Absolutely. I have faith. I know a lot of people are saying, crappy things about Eternals. We did criticize the trailer on the show. I mean, not like terribly, but yeah, we still don't know what's going on. I know a lot of people are like, this is going to be their first bomb, but Guardians of the Galaxy, I always go back to that when I'm in doubt. Like, I never thought that was going to be, and a lot of people didn't. And look what happened.
And this has some big name players. I mean, you've got some guys from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
The only thing that always throws me off is it's like every time I see Angelina Jolie in any sort of action movie, I immediately think this is a turd, and I don't. I don't know why. Because her movies that have been action packed have done very well. I do have.
They're not great though. I mean,
they're missing something.
I was psyched for Tomb Raider to come out because I played Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was like one of the first series on PlayStation 1 that I played, and I was like, oh, sweet. You know, Tomb Raider game or movie coming out, and then it was just like that. I'm never getting that hour and a half back.
I like that. You know what? I like that film when it came out. Yeah, I like that film when it came out, but it does not hold up. It's terrible.
But like every time I watched it, you remember they had commercials. They had commercials for Tomb Raider, and that girl that you know would be at the end of the commercial for Tomb Raider. You know, big boobed and classic Tomb Raider hairstyle. You know, and the glasses kind of tilted down. That's what I anticipated, but no. I got Angelina Jolie.
And they gave her a padded bra. Such false advertising.
Well, and it's not like she has small boobs.
Well, no.
It's like horrible. You know?
Should have gave her a pixelated bra. Having fun. Some cheekbones.
Box boobs.
That would have been retro, right? Like Art Deco or whatever. Like, let's just do pixelated people in this film. Like, give them prosthetics. And Daniel Craig was in that first film. A lot of people probably don't know that. And Gerard Butler was in the second one.
He was in the second one, yeah.
Which was terrible. I remember seeing that. She punched a shark.
That was before he even did.
What?
Yeah.
Can he even do that in the game?
That was before he even did 300. I mean, that was
before he
became like kind of a mainstay of Hollywood, really.
Remember when she was, what was in that movie where they had the, that James McAvoy?
Wanted.
Wanted.
Assassins.
That was such a good movie.
You know why it was a good movie, though? Because she had very limited scenes in it. And they used her as the momentum builder to go see the movie. And I was like, nah, I don't think so. But then when I started watching
Agent Turd.
Yeah, like, I don't think very many people would have seen that movie if it wasn't for, like, Morgan Freeman and Angelina Jolie being in it. But it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it hit the comic series, like, right on the head.
Right, and then you know you also had Chris from
Pratt.
You had Star-Lord in it.
Chris Pratt in it,
Back when all connected.
Parks and Rec. When he was Parks and Rec. Chris Pratt.
Yep.
He gives me hope.
Yes. Has anybody ever seen The Good Shepherd?
No.
Matt Damon.
I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah, she was in that. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she was in that. Very short period of time, may I ask.
Love her in Hackers. I don't know.
See, like, early Angelina Jolie, I didn't mind.
Yeah.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, she was good in that. But, like, her being... The thing is, though, like, and I even was saying this the last episode when we were talking about it, was like, they've got so many big-name people. Like, this has to be, like, a 3-hour movie almost to, like, give them all their due.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like, I can't see her being, like, the main focus of the movie.
That's going to be weird,
maybe
too.
Make it good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see. And unless she takes it over, you know. Like, I think Bill said last time, Will Smith from Suicide Squad.
Well, you got Kit Harington, Selma Hayek, then you got Angelina Jolie, then you got Jon Snow's brother in Game of Thrones, which I can't remember his name.
Camille Nanjiani, I think is how you say his name.
Yep. He bulked up for that. Oh my
Dude,
God.
I mean, this is a big group of people.
It is. It'll be really fascinating. Like I have faith. You know, I think they know what they're doing. So we'll see.
I almost wonder with some of these stories, though, like if they're not like meant to just be Marvel, but a standalone kind of thing. You know, the Kate Bishop Hawkeye series that's coming out. I can't see that like replacing Jeremy Renner in the movies.
That's the rumor, but yeah.
I don't know. Like maybe Eternals is just going to be like this. Oh, we're these guys that are kind of behind the scenes, and we affected this, but we didn't really get involved in it, and we fought like a much bigger threat outside of it.
Yeah, that's going to have to be written very well to be acceptable, I think. You know, because already a lot of people are like, but these characters existed in the comics, so like again, it's not. You know, I think a lot of people just need to check the comic material first. Like this whole time variant agency, you know, it already existed, so it's not new.
Yeah, like they existed within the universe during all these big conflicts, but they never got involved.
Right.
Like the Eternals were never involved in the original, like, and I'm talking in the comics, but they were never involved in like Infinity War and like, Galactus coming to Earth and stuff like that. They were very hands off for that. But
Yes.
it's like they've always dealt with threats that were like much larger than the
exactly
than our universe.
right.
So maybe they'll tie into like Miss Marvel and stuff like that. I don't know. But
Yeah, I'm sure they can. So yeah, that's it's gonna be nice about these shows is you have these little nuggets here and there, and when they show up on the big screen, you're like, I know exactly where they're from, what they've done. I got the shows to reference, and so you're able to like not have to dedicate so much movie time to explain who these people are. They can just exist.
Yeah.
So I think that's really clever, and it's very nice to have a streaming service that does that. And I think DC should definitely get on that bandwagon because right now it's separate. Anything like the Titans, they have Doom Patrol, and they're working on Green Lantern. Those I think are going to be separate from the movieverse. So of course they're doing their own thing. They keep changing up their leadership regimes, so you're just going to keep going in different directions. It is crazy, but that does segue us to DC films. Aquaman 2 officially got its title. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So, of course, Jason Momoa, Amber Heard.
And 2, wetter is better.
Wetter is better. Yes. Yes. I don't know. I kind of like my man Aquaman.
My man.
Oh man.
My buddy
man.
Aquaman. Yeah, I don't know. That was probably Jason Momoa's idea, and they rejected it. But of course, he's going to be back. Amber Heard, Patrick Wilson, mostly everyone from the first one. Yeah, Amber Heard. That's been a big rumor. She was going to be recasted. Yeah, I
don't know.
she's. I mean, hey, she's.
That's not enough. That's not enough to make me boycott the movie.
Right.
I'm still a little salty about it, but
yeah, I don't think she's a great person. But I mean, I liked her performance in Zack Snyder's Justice League, like with the British accent. I thought she knocked that out pretty well. But I enjoyed her in Aquaman. But of course, there's been people thinking she's going to get recast because of the drama her and Depp have gone back and forth with in real life and accusations, all that stuff. So yeah, apparently she still got her job. So we'll see. We'll see if I don't know how many people are going to be outraged by that, but so far she's returning, of course, as expected. James Wan as well. He'll be directing again. 2018's Aquaman grossed $1 billion. They haven't had a film gross that much since Nolan's Dark Knight, I believe, or might be Dark Knight Rises. I'm going to say Dark Knight, but they were going to do a spinoff, The Trench, and it was considered but canceled just recently. So yeah, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom's due out December 16th, 2022. Yeah, I look forward to that. I enjoyed Aquaman. I was nervous at first, though, when they had some of the music keys, at the beginning. It felt like a Hulk Hogan movie, I was nervous, but it turned out to be fine. But yeah, obviously really went into, special effects. I do appreciate Zack Snyder's more realistic approach to the sea,
Yeah.
Aquaman, obviously, that probably would have been so hard to do realistically, so they just went for it, Just everything thrown at you. But Dolph Lundgren, that was cool. He was in that, and maybe he'll be back. I don't know. William Dafoe, I'm sure will be back. But yeah, you guys enjoyed that film, right?
I did. I'm not a huge fan of Aquaman, so I didn't really go into it with many expectations. I was just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wasn't disappointed by it by any means. I'm glad they're doing a second one.
Yeah.
I hope they continue doing the character justice because they finally made Aquaman cool. He's been the joke of the DC universe forever, but
I always enjoyed his look. I just the way they did his character, I guess, was always like, I do like that they gave him his costume, his accurate costume, but they updated it, of course. But I did get a kick out of that because the Justice League costume left me wanting more. Basically, like, let's put some more color in the sucker, But the Trident, that's cool. Yeah. I dug it. It was good. It was pretty good. Pretty crazy, but it was good. But yeah, Mitch, you like it too?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, but yeah, of course, it deserves a sequel. And
I've heard that there's talks that they're trying to now get the ball rolling on restore the Snyderverse or whatever. So we'll see.
yeah, I want that to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. I think they're fools not to do it, honestly.
I almost think that everybody would be on board except for Affleck. I mean, they've already got a new Batman movie coming out, so it's like, which I don't think is meant to be any part of the Snyderverse whatsoever, right?
No, or
It's supposed to be just on its own,
or a universe itself. I think it's just kind of I don't know if you'd say a one-off, but just kind of a traditional film like the old ones were. You know, they're kind of just in their own universe, I guess you could say. So I think they'll do sequels, but yeah, it's not like exactly like a Joker. Let's say it's meant to be a franchise, but it's in its own right, I guess. So I don't know what the answer is to that, but you know, they really wanted to be Marvel, and then that didn't work, and so now they're just like, let's just go back to the way it was, or I don't know. But I think people like universes now.
Yeah,
so much you can do.
I'd almost be okay with them like not necessarily starting over, but kind of doing a soft reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, and the only reason I say that is because like Wonder Woman was like almost a carbon copy of Captain America, the first Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the original. I haven't seen the Snyder cut yet, so don't.
That's right. I keep forgetting that.
Take this with a grain of salt, but like the original Justice League was like the Avengers, pretty much. You know, it's kind of like they took the ideas from Marvel and they're like, oh well, it's this character, so it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, yeah, it kind of is. But, okay. I don't know. I'd like to see like Affleck come back as Batman. I'd like to see them expand on it more, like bring in, you know, Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern and some of the other mainstay guys, Green Arrow.
Right.
I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to see them do that. But
right.
I'm not holding my breath by any means.
Literally, right?
Well, it took them how many years to get the Snyder cut done?
Yeah, it took a while.
Well, yeah,
it was a campaign though. Like fans really got it to happen because the studio wasn't going to do shit about it, and they didn't, of course, promote it much. And yeah, but hey,
I mean, that's what I'm saying though. It's like if they're wanting to bring back the Snyderverse, I don't think it's going to happen for at least another 2-3 years.
Yeah, it might be like animated form. Like, what if they did?
Which I'd be okay with. Like DC does really. They've got Marvel beat in the animated movies,
right?
Like they're really. Well, granted, there's not a lot to choose from with Marvel, but like Killing Joke, Under the Red Hood, you know, Death in the Family. They've kind of taken different takes with it, but they've done a really good job with those.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, and you know, The Flash is filming right now. Shazam: Fury of the Gods. We've gotten some teases. The Flash has anyways been teased. The logo and some of the suit. Sent you guys those photos. It's got some kind of design, like it's a unique design to it. Something new. So
it's kind of more like techie.
Yeah.
It kind of looks a little more techie than like not just like spandex. It looks like it's more like maybe there's some technology involved to like keep the friction down or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, because the first one was kind of more clunky.
Is this the one that Keaton's going to come back for?
Yes, and Affleck actually. Affleck too as Batman.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope it's good. I mean, having Keaton come back will be worth the ticket. You know, I'll go see it just for that. But I'll see it either way. Let's be honest. But yeah, the Flash's suit will evolve, and of course they did tease Keaton's suit. I don't know if you've seen that image. I forgot to send that to you guys, but it's the Batman Returns suit. Looks like with blood on it, like
that's what I thought.
Like the comedian's pin. That's kind of a thing they homage to. I don't know if it has any meaning specifically, but yeah, I was hoping for the 89, but I guess if you're going to do it in order, yeah, it has to be Returns. Of course, he's much older, so I'd hate to think he wore the same suit for all those years, even though I love to see him in that suit. Maybe the new one got damaged and he's like, I have to go old school. And then that's when I just lose my damn mind. Like, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see though. But yeah, it looks super interesting. And then Shazam, of course, has a new suit, which is a lot less bulkier. What are your thoughts on the look so far?
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit better than the other suit didn't look too bad, but you're watching it or just seeing pictures of it made it look really hokey.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I really liked the first Shazam. The suit though looked like it was just taken right out of a comic book or right out of a cartoon. I like it. It looked like cosplay. It didn't look like something an ancient superhero would wear.
Yeah.
But the new suit, I'm kind of getting Raimi vibes with it, with like the scaling on the lower half and stuff like that. So maybe it'll look functional, but a little more tactical.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, without being like a total revamp of it. I don't know.
Well, I didn't look into it, but I was wondering if the Jupiter's Legacy, which I didn't put on the notes here, just recently got canceled after one season on Netflix. Whoever designs their costumes, I'm almost wondering, I should have done my research, of course, wondering if they designed Shazam's, because his pec area kind of square a little bit in spots. And that's kind of what the Jupiter's Legacy has for their design. So I'm just curious if it's the same designer. I do dig it though. I think it's pretty cool. And obviously the cape's not there, but they're going to CG that on like they have with Batman and Superman so far, which is fine because I never catch it looking fake. So I think they'll pull it off pretty nicely.
Yeah. And I think from like a choreography standpoint too, like when you're doing the fight scenes and stuff like that, it'd be a little difficult if you had a cape flying in your face every 5 seconds.
Right. You can't direct the fabric. Like, damn it, wind.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a great take. It just cape went right in his face or got caught in the door or something. Yeah. No, I think that's smart. And maybe that kind of hints to the budget being a little bit bigger too. I don't know. I think they definitely learned from the first film, like most franchises do. And the character's obviously evolving, becoming more adult, I guess. And the kid itself is aging, so makes sense. But yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. Obviously in post they'll do more to it, but of course they obviously want to sell more toys too. That's why they do these redesigns, But
of course.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, it looks exciting. I hope it's a hit. And I think Levi's had Zachary Levi, that is, has had a chance to bulk up more for this part, or for this time around, let's say. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good so far, and obviously we'll see more set photos, kind of like the ones we've seen with Indiana Jones 5, which is our next topic.
Yes.
Mitch, do you want to start, since you're probably the biggest Indy fan out of all of us, maybe?
Yeah. Well, they've started shooting. They've gotten, I think, this will be the second week that they've been doing photography.
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, how far do you want to go into this? Because, I mean, we've seen set photos. We've seen photos of him in the suit, which look amazing. Of course, he's older now, so
yes.
But still, he still has that iconic fedora and the leather jacket and all that stuff and the whip.
Sure.
So it brings back a lot of memories, because I remember watching that religiously growing up and stuff. But looks like they're going back to possibly Nazis.
Yes.
That or they are doing a flashback scene of some sort to help aid a storyline. But who knows? It's I've heard rumors that they're using an old script that they wanted to use for the third film that didn't get made. They're de-aging him for some flashback scenes. Well, but it's really interesting to see. But if this follows in line with the typical indie story of series, all odd number of movies are good. Even number of movies are bad. So we're due for a good one. So
I hope so, because it probably
I
be
don't
his
know.
last. I'm guessing he's 78 now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, he's done after this one, but they need to figure out if they're going to carry it on or whatnot.
I personally think they should James Bond him. Honestly, ever since that Chris Pratt photo came out, I'm like, yes. But it won't be Ford, obviously. You know, I don't know. I just love to see more adventures. I think they could have done more. You know, and they tried. Of course, they had the Chronicles, right? Back in the '90s, Young Indiana Jones.
And that was a good show.
Yeah,
The Young Indiana Jones series. That was good. Harrison Ford made a cameo in one of the episodes. Yeah, I liked it.
It's a big cast this time around. I mean, it was last time, I guess, but you got Matt Mikkelsen and Toby Jones, directed by James.
That's what makes me excited.
I know, yeah.
Matt Mikkelsen.
Yeah, there's of course rumor he'll play a Nazi, like an old Nazi. Like, dude, that'd be perfect. Like,
which would be perfect.
Oh yeah,
he would pull that off pretty nicely. But yeah, I'm wondering if the flashbacks will maybe kind of like Last Crusade, how they had that flashback in the beginning. They'll do something similar, maybe, and then he catches up with these Nazis. And I guess this would take place in the 70s if you're going by, unless you're going to lie about his age, let's say, make him the same age he was back in 08's film, which took place in the 50s. So I'm wondering if they're going
to be 60s.
60s. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think they're probably lying about his age a little bit, because if I'm just saying, if you do the math, it would be 70s, but that's fine. I think you could, and maybe I've heard he's got dots on his face. Not sure if it's for the flashback or they're gonna de-age him the whole movie. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people. Some people had pointed out, like, wouldn't his style change as the years go on? I guess it's just probably nitpicking. I mean,
well, okay. So if we're looking at that from a historical outfit standpoint, the fedora only came out of style when President John F. Kennedy refused to wear one during his inauguration walk down.
I see.
That's the end. That was the end of the fedora.
Damn it! They should come back.
Right?
Everybody looks good in
one. Why it had to be at that moment, but it was. That's the moment.
Wow. So yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah.
So I mean, 60s would kind of be the last hurrah for the fedora. But...
Well, and if you're set in your ways, right? He's an old man. Yeah. He's like, I'm not gonna stop wearing my hat. Like,
right?
That's what I do, man.
Yeah.
And now you've got this niche population of individuals who still rock it and look good in it, and it's just it's sad because there's some pretty classical outfits, coats and long coats and a fedora looks pretty classy, when you're walking around outside with a suit.
I'd love society to embrace that look again, like get on board.
Think it's a very classy, almost CIA kind of FBI. You're doing undercover recon,
right? There you go.
Yeah.
You can just do a T-shirt now with a blazer and a hat. You don't have to go all suit and tie, but like mix it up a little bit. Yeah. No, I hear you. I've always wanted to. I do have fedoras. I sometimes don't have the confidence to wear them because I'm like, I'm going to stand out, and but I do like them. Man. Yeah, I know. I do like fedoras. I'm a fan. But yeah, that's a good point. That does make a lot of sense. So, and he's out in the jungle and stuff. So, I don't think styles really changed that much in that time. Not like you'd have like a SWAT suit or a black suit or whatever.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, you've got him, and you've got all these trains that they're showing the swastika on.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that because Indy's movies were always at their best when it was that. Yeah. With the Nazis.
Yeah, and Temple of Doom had some things that I liked about it, but yeah, that was very dark, of course, and
it was a very unique time.
Yes,
and I think one of them was going through a divorce or something like that.
Yep, Lucas was.
The other one,
was. Yeah,
and the other one, or they just got done making a like Poltergeist or some scary movie. I can't remember what it was.
Yep, Spielberg produced it.
Yeah, so it was during a very weird period of time that they decided to make that one, and the third one, funny enough, was done on an obligation basis that they said that they were going to have
Really?
3 movies.
Ah,
And that one ended up being probably one of the best ones.
that was a good one. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
solid way to end it. And yeah, which just, man, I wish 4 would have been much, much better. They brought back some cool people, and I just, oh, shit. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's got moments, but it's just, I think that's why they're making this one now. I think if it would have ended better, they would have, yeah, because this, I mean, Spielberg, I think, might be producing this thing somehow, some way, maybe through Amblin, his company.
I don't know. I think
Lucas is out,
I
though.
want to say that he's like executive producer, but there's other people doing it.
Right.
Directing stuff.
Yeah, I do have hope with the director, James Mangold. He did Logan and Ford v Ferrari, which that's an awesome movie. Really, it has a lot of action for the type of movie it is. Just with the way the car racings were shot, that was really awesome. And of course, yeah, Logan is Logan. Yeah, I have hopes with that director. I think this will be really cool, and I really hope they rely on a lot of practical effects this time around. Of course, CG's gotten a little bit better, but still, I prefer practical. You know, you can have CG assist them, but yeah, I think we want that realism back, especially for an indie film.
Yeah,
I am excited though. I have high hopes. What do you think, Bill? You have high hopes?
I mean, I'm kind of with Mitch. Like the odd numbered ones have always been my favorite. I don't know. Are they? I know he's kind of like out of the Hollywood scene now, but are they going to bring back like Shia LaBeouf's character or anything like that?
Don't think so.
not that I've heard. No.
No,
Okay.
I think they're done with him.
I'll probably be okay with seeing it then. I mean, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I like Shia LaBeouf, just in smaller, with much smaller doses.
Yes.
I'll definitely go see it. To me, it's kind of like James Bond. It's kind of like, you know, end of an era kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've come this far, you've got to see it through to the end.
Right.
So, I'm just going to go into it pretending that the last movie didn't happen, and
there you go.
Call it good.
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, especially if you know, if they do the de-aging thing, and if Lucasfilm is at all involved, you know, they do the same kind of de-aging stuff they did with Rogue One. I think it'll look okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you go like the route that like MCU did with Ant-Man and stuff like that.
Yes,
like,
Michael Douglas. Oh God,
Michael Douglas. Yeah,
it's amazing.
That looked
scene.
a little more, you know, that looked a little more believable than like some of the, I don't know, than like de-aging Kurt Russell for Guardians 2. Like that was kind of weird for me, but
all right.
I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's one of those franchises I'll never not love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter what they do to, you know, Indy, as long as he's not, you know, going to space and,
yeah,
you know, pulling out his whip in zero gravity and like lassoing the moon or some dumb shit like that.
There you go. They make him a god. Yeah. he gets short round for gives him a surfboard and makes him Silver Surfer.
Oh,
he becomes Galactus. Just fucking go with it, you know. Just fuck it.
Yeah, sure.
We're out of ideas. Like, we're just gonna make him part of the Marvel universe. Here you go.
Boy.
Bam, just jam them all together. Yeah. Well, you know, celebration of the first indie film, Raiders, it turned 40 just recently. And so, of course, yeah, that launched the whole franchise. It wasn't even called Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. That later got changed to that because Lucas wanted to do that, and rightfully so, I guess. But Raiders of the Lost Ark is really a movie that could just stand on its own, even though there is a trilogy that we admire. But yeah, I think it's a movie they always try to recapture, and I think they did in spots. But the movie itself, though, is just pretty much a complete book. I mean, you could say that anyway. You could leave off with that film just on its own. But yeah, it had a $18 million budget, and it made over $300 million. It won 5 Oscars in 1982. Produced all sorts of sorts of merchandise, theme park rides, a I looked up some interesting ways they did the sound effects. Bert, I guess that's who did the sound effects. He actually is the voice of Wall-E. A little trivia there, more trivia.
Huh.
But I looked up the slithering snake effect. That was his hand going into a cheese casserole. I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then the Ark of the Covenant lid being removed was him taking the lid off his toilet.
Huh.
Not funny? The boulder rolling
That's
after
awesome.
Indy was a Honda Civic over gravel, driving over gravel. So that's the boulder.
Oh, wow.
Changing everyone's ways of seeing this film from now on, probably. That's a Honda Civic. The over-the-top punches was a pile of leather jackets getting beaten by a baseball bat. So, the classic, which is how we all want to punch somebody, let's be honest, have that sound effect.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you guys might know this, the swordsman scene, I guess it was supposed to be a lot more elaborate, but the whole crew got food poisoning. And so Ford suggested that he just shoot the guy like he did,
Yeah.
to end the shoot early, and so they could all kind of recover more. So the guy who did train the guy who was a swordsman was not happy with that, but that's what they did, and it basically broke the mold. You pretty much thought, because this was inspired by like an old serial of films, adventure swashbuckling films of the 30s, 40s, something like that. That definitely broke the mold because you didn't get your traditional fight there. Just simply took the guy out. David Hasselhoff, Tom Selleck, Michael Biehn, Mark Harmon, Christopher Guest, and Sam Elliott, I guess, tried out for the part. Tom Selleck became almost Indiana Jones, except CBS wouldn't let him out of his Magnum PI contract. There's actually a screen test of him, and he does look like an old serial star, especially when he was younger. He has the strong chin and the mustache, and it would have been really interesting to see where it would have went if he had played Indy. I don't know. Can you guys imagine Tom Selleck? Just that film or having a franchise. I mean, that would have been something. That's a multiverse right there.
I don't know. I could see it because, I watched TV a lot when I was a kid. I watched Magnum PI. I liked the show and everything.
Yeah.
I could see him being it, but carrying the franchise, probably not.
Right.
Like not in the way that Harrison Ford has done.
Of course.
I don't think,
Yeah.
I don't know. Didn't Harrison Ford's casting as Han Solo have an impact on his casting with Raiders of the Lost Ark or vice versa?
Well, I think I read
or something with that.
I did read Lucas didn't want Ford to become his Robert De Niro to Martin Scorsese. So I think he was trying to avoid that, but yeah, they settled on him, and of course, rest is history. Is that what you were going to say, Mitch?
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say. I mean, he. And I was going to add that it seemed like in a lot of the test, not the test shots.
The screen test, you mean, or the?
Well, not the screen test either. Where they draw kind of like the scenes and stuff like that out.
Oh yeah, storyboard.
Yeah, like a storyboard. So it seems like when you're watching Raiders, a lot of the storyboards didn't change. So Indy had a mustache and he still looked like Tom Selleck. I don't know if they were just running out of money or if they just liked the scene as it was. But,
sure.
They always had a vision of him with the mustache and looking like Tom Selleck. So
yeah, I mean, he probably could have pulled it off. I don't know. I've seen the screen test. He does look like what they wanted for sure. And Harrison Ford was probably
Magnum PI. He would have kicked some ass.
Yeah, I know.
I would have saved his career too because I don't think he did much after.
He
popped
was
in
on
Friends, I think, for a little bit.
Yeah, and he did like In and Out, and he did 3 Men and a Baby, 3 Men and a Little Lady. Yeah, he didn't have I just wonder if he would have, because Harrison Ford. I don't think Harrison Ford was ever on TV. TV star to movie star rarely, I guess, is successful. So yeah, it makes you wonder if it would have felt more like it wouldn't have felt like a TV movie, but Tom Selleck, if he would have been able to carry the film, I think he could have, but I don't know if it would have been a franchise or not. It's interesting. It's like I kind of want to see that film, but maybe someday they'll be able to do a replace Ford with Selleck. Yeah, and that's gonna happen eventually.
The Selleck cut.
Yeah, the Selleck cut. There you go. Release it.
Yeah.
And Danny.
Also, Raiders of the Lost Ark had future Ivan Ooze in it.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Paul Freeman played Belloc.
Really?
He was Ivan Ooze in the '90s Power Rangers movie.
I'll be darned.
He was also in Hot Fuzz. He played the priest. I don't know if you remember that.
He was in Hot Fuzz. I keep forgetting that.
There was a lot of people in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
Because at the end, what did he say? When Simon Pegg confronted him, because he's a holy man, or the character's a holy man, and I think he said "fuck off, grasshopper," and he tries to shoot him.
Yeah.
I love that film.
God.
That's so damn good.
I gotta go back and watch that again.
Oh, it's a classic. Yeah. Yeah, it was a great film, and yeah, I think that's just what makes us love the franchise, and of course the ones that came after. But yeah, that iconic look. I hope they can give us something close to that in this film. It does suck to see him get old, but we're all old, I guess. So we'll see what happens if they continue the journey with another actor.
It does, but I'd rather see an old Harrison Ford than like The Rock.
Oh
taking
yeah,
over the role, or
like a
something
total
like that.
remake.
Yeah. I'd hate to see that. But,
right, I know.
I don't know. I think it'll be good. I think it's a good thing they're doing this and kind of bringing people back to the theaters. It's obviously an Indiana Jones movie you have to see in IMAX.
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
At least on the big screen. Like,
yeah,
it's just mandatory. It's like Star Wars. You can't not see it on the big screen.
It's going to be shot very well, I'm sure. And James, I have total faith in Mangold, the director, and yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. Probably, maybe even better than what I'm thinking. But yeah, we'll see when we get our trailer. I'm sure that'll drive up hype, hopefully. But yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there for sure. So Mitch probably already has his ticket. He's already in line.
No,
camping out.
Well,
anytime now.
Is it Paramount? Paramount that does the.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
because the mountain in the beginning. Of course, now it won't be Paramount though. It'll be Disney because they own Lucasfilm. So we won't get the mountain.
Oh, that'll be weird.
Yeah.
Well, then I wonder if I'll be able to get the movie on Disney Plus.
You might. Yeah, for Premier Access. Yeah, probably. Unless. Oh yeah, eventually it will come on Plus. Yeah. Maybe they'll have Mickey Mouse take a shit that looks like a mountain, and then there you go. On with the show. Or Harrison Ford's in his garden, and he's like, crap, I didn't make it. Blair.
Damn mouse.
Everyone just jaws drop, like, what?
The ground didn't agree with them.
We'll see. We'll see. But that's all I have, guys. Anything else before we go?
Subscribe to 515 Gaming.
Yes.
Damn right.
Please do.
Damn right.
And when the Indiana Jones game comes out in 2023 or whenever it's coming out, I'll be doing a playthrough of it.
Oh,
Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I
don't
like
know when
that.
it's coming out, to be honest. Don't quote me on that. But
That would be great though
anyway.
for the film, coincide with it. So yeah, I look forward to that. And of course, everyone out there, you can Google Field of Geeks and find us everywhere practically. We're there. So like, subscribe, and please share. We will be back. Thanks, Bill, again for guesting. Always a pleasure.
Of course.
Honorary Geek. So he's got the title of that, and we'll get working on your artwork without your face. I'll have your back turned to the cover art. There you go.
There we go.
I see
One
a
of those
plane.
like looking over the shoulder. One of those like looking over the shoulder action shots.
I'll put your hands behind
That'd be
Mitch,
awesome.
and you're just like creeping over him, like, "What's up?"
Like peeking over the top of his head, like Wilson.
Yes, yes. A periscope, if you will.
Yeah.
We'll do that. A little.
Put a fence in the background. Just have me peeking my head over it.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. That's an idea. Oh yeah. Thanks again. It's been great. I'm Josh.
I'm Mitch.
I'm Bill.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Good job, guys.
Bye.